Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to brush out a wig. I'm Bryce.cosplay or Chris, and this is my new series of how beginner skills, how to care for wigs. As I said earlier, we are going to be learning how to brush out a freshly washed or not freshly washed, because it doesn't matter, wig. So first thing you need, wig. Second thing you need, a wig head and a tripod. Could be one of the desk stands, or it could be something like I'm using, which is a tripod. Some sort of wig head, be it a foam one, a fabric one, or a plastic one. Just something to fit your head on. Like fit your wig on. There we go. Next few things you're gonna need is you're gonna need either a soft, thin bristle brush, so something that's really pliable, really flexible, or if you don't have that, a wide tooth comb. I would even recommend something a little bit wider than what I currently have, but as I say in a lot of my panels at conventions, is we work with what we have. Another thing we want are clips. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. I have alligator clips like these. I tend to have a lot because I am actually a hairdresser. So my sister also just buys them for me, which I love her dearly. Thank you, T10. It could be ones like that. It could be little like dollar store ones, little metal clips like these. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me grab a bigger one. Could be something like these. There we go. Or even just, this is a little broken, but like, yeah. So any type of clip, to be honest. Some handy but not necessary tools are things like a fabric steamer. This, honestly, for styling in general, it's probably one of my favorite tools. It gets a lot done for how small of a tool it is. You can create volume with it, you can create structure with it, you can help detangle a wig with it. Yeah, it's pretty much the holy grail at this point of wigs. But if you do not have that, another good, versatile, useful tool to have is a hair straightener. None of these have to be fancy. This is literally a wet to straight Remington I found at Walmart years ago, to be honest. But like, you could go to Value Village to collect your tools as well, Facebook Marketplace, or sometimes Dollarama has some. Don't discount dollar stores. They come in handy. So those are some bonus tools. And then one thing that I like to have, you don't necessarily have to have it, it's this holy grail of wigness for detangling anyway. So this is diluted fabric softener. It's 1 part fabric softener to 10 parts water in a little spray bottle. For the general uses of this is it could honestly be used to help detangle wigs because it's made for synthetic fibers. It's going to attach to synthetic fibers, which is what your wig is. It also helps keep any shine down. So if you have a really shiny like Party City wig or something like that, you can easily help it by soaking it in fabric softener. We're not soaking it, we're just spraying it. I already pre-sprayed this one, so I'm not going to show you that. So let's get into it. I'm going to section this wig first. If you don't know what that means, sectioning is pretty much just separating chunks of hair. So very easy, just separating. So this would be considered a section. Does it have to be straight like this? No, it could even be, oh my gosh, she's a little too tangled for this, but that's okay. If you saw my how to wash wigs, you'll see what I meant by if you pre-detangle your wig, it'll be a lot easier. So, where's my tie? This right here is also a section. So it's honestly just chunks of hair that you separate from the main body of hair. Pro tip, if you have to clip a lot of hair, don't just like clip it like this, because like it sags. A lot of the time it also won't hold if it's thicker. Instead, what you kind of want to do is take your section, twist it, and pin it. You could actually hold a lot of hair like this because I'm not doing too much with it. I'm not going to be throwing it all up to show you that. If honestly, you can see in any of my wig making videos, I do it quite often. But anyway, make sure that your wig is secure. I have pins in the temple area, some up top, and then some in the base of the neck, just keeping her on so that I can tug her around without worrying that she's gonna end up on the floor and I'll have to start all over. So section your wig however you feel like it. I'm gonna take the underlayers and do them first because those need a little bit more work than the top layers. There we go. Look at that, isn't she cute? Okay, let's get to it. So you do want to be gentle, but you also want to be a little bit more forceful with this. Don't start at the top, because if you start up here, it's going to create more tangles. What you want to do is you want to start at the bottom and just very gently, with a lot of patience. Wig styling in general takes a bunch of patience. You just want to very lightly just brush your wig out, like so. If you do have any really bad snagles or tangles, knots, whatever your wording is, don't immediately jump to the scissors. That's when your straightener or your steamer is going to come in handy. Mine's just heating up, so there we go. So pretty much all you want to do is just very lightly, don't trip on the cord, very lightly just kind of soften them up, and then as you can see, smooth like butter. Loosening up any of the, never mind. There we go. Okay. Loosening up any of the really harsh tangles. And just nice, simple, easy. That is with a steamer. With a straightener, don't turn it up too high. You just want it hot enough where it's lightly, like just kind of a little bit hot, not necessarily like burning balls of glory. If you're also having issues with static with your wigs, because sometimes that can happen, is when like you're done brushing a wig and all of a sudden it's like staticky and it's just going up. You can take a fabric sheet or even some of your diluted fabric softener and just lightly, like either with the sheet, you just kind of grab it and go like so, like in your hand, just lightly, just kind of drag it down, or just boom, done, sprayed, awesome. So there's no difference between using a brush versus using a comb. You just want to start low and work your way up. Nice and easy. I can't see what I'm doing on this side. Ooh. Also make sure that your wig fits the wig head. Sorry, the wig head fits the tripod. Or else you're going to end up with kind of me in the sense of, yeah. So there is a knot right here. Not sure if you guys can see it. Not bad, but you don't want to like yank it. What you want to do is you want to just kind of very gently, let's see if I can showcase this, just work it out from the bottom. Sometimes if it's a really bad snarl, you can isolate it. You can like lightly with your hands pick it out. Oh, this one's already gone, but I'll be able to show you next time if I encounter one. But you can pretty much pick out the hair that's not super in it so that it can be just dealt with in itself, if that makes sense. So she is nice and smooth. Oh my God. No resistance. Okay, next part. Okay, this is nice and hot now. So literally it's similar to how we did it with the steamer. You're just gonna lightly run your straightener through the fibers just to heat them up and kind of loosen them. And then very just gently with your comb or your brush, just work it out. If you do lose hair in this process, it's very similar to when you yourself brush your hair. You will lose hair. You will lose fibers. Unless it's like a huge chunk and you have a bald spot, you don't have to worry. It is what it is. Also, when you're pinning your wig, make sure there's no fibers tucked underneath into the wig head, because then you're gonna take it off and you're gonna be like, what happened? So if your brush has hair in it, don't panic. Like I said earlier, oh, we got another knot. That's okay. It's coming out quite easily. And that is why we detangle before we wash the wig. But you should not be washing your wig all that much. Why? Because it degrades it. She's so nice. Sorry. So, actually, I was filming earlier, and it turns out my camera wasn't actually filming. I was doing a Makima wig, but I was telling a story on how one of the very first wigs I got, I was 14, okay? I'm 26, if that helps. And I ordered my wig, my very first wig, off of eBay, and it was a Hatsune Miku wig. And I was so excited that I got it, and I read somewhere, I think it was on some like cosplay post that, oh, brush your wigs before you wear them for the first time. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. I just grabbed my everyday brush, which was quite a thick bristled brush, and with the ponytails, might I add, I just went from the top and just yanked it down. And then it got so knotted in the pigtails and up until like the clip itself that I was like, oh no, it's broken, because I didn't know any better. I did not know any better. So I contacted the seller and I sent them a picture, and they're like, oh my God, we've never seen this happen to a wig before, so we're gonna send you a new one. That was entirely my fault. I should have really not immediately at the root just yanked it down. I should have worked my way up like I'm trying to tell you guys. Because yeah, I messed up 2 separate wigs doing that. And yeah, at the time it was eBay, it was like maybe $10. I didn't have bills to pay, but that's still a lot of wasteful product. I ended up throwing those out and I got a different wig that wasn't a Hatsune Miku wig. As you can see, she's nice and brushed out. She's super soft, she's super shiny. She is good to put away. I should show you the front of her before I do that. So, the front, she is all detangled as I retangle her again, and she's sliding. Oh my God, guys, come on. Okay. Let me showcase this again. So, that snagging sound, that like really harsh, it's just the fibers hitting the plastic, or the foam, sorry. It's not actual knots, but she's nice and brushed out. This is optional. You do not need to do this. I find it easier for storage, but what I like to do with my long-haired wigs is I like to braid them. You can just like clip them in a ponytail like so, and then store them this way, or you can leave them as is. But personally for me, I like to braid my wigs before I put them away because it makes them a lot easier to take them out and just wear them, versus having to brush them out before I even think about wearing them. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I did forget my hair ties upstairs, so I might just use one of my clips until I grab one. That's just nice, easy, very loose braid. So that way when you want to wear them, you just take it out, brush your fingers through it, and you easy peasy, lemon squeezy, she is ready to go. But that is how you brush out a wig. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll try my hardest to answer all of them. As you can see, like, you can, with braids, you can, like, kind of everywhere, you know, and they're still nice, they're still secure, so they won't tangle up and everything. But anyway, as I was saying, I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, or you could even shoot me a message on Instagram. I typically respond to those. Sometimes I lose them, but anyway. And also, if you like my content, if you like my instructional videos as well as my styling videos or any in between, please let me know. I like to hear feedback, or if you want to learn anything specific. I do have a few videos planned out for this, but this is the second one of many, the first one being how to wash a wig. So I'll see you next time, and thank you very much.